children. I'm happy that you have completed Unit 5 prose. Okay, in this video we are going to revise Unit 5 poem and supplementary. Now let's see the summary of the poem. See, what's the poem? The Secret of the Missions. The poem The Secret of the Missions by Rudyard Kipling deals with the problem of modern technology and automation. In the beginning, the reader gets informed about how missions are produced and what kind of treatment they need, isn't it? It can be divided as three parts. The first part says about how the mission was made, okay, what are the things needed for that mission, isn't it? How to make a mission. Then afterwards the missions explain how they can serve humanity. Okay, but missions are not only useful, they can also lead to big disasters if they aren't used in a right way. Then the missions say how they are useful, like they will be useful for pulling, plowing, reading, writing, likewise. And they also give us a warning that they are not only useful, but if you fail to handle it in a right way, it will end in a great disaster. Finally, the poem ends with a statement that missions, although capable of great deeds, are still nothing more than creations of human beings. Okay, though the machines can do anything, but it is only the creation of human brain. Okay, now you understand this is the concept of the poem, and this poem is a memory poem, so study properly. Now let's see the rhyme scheme. Okay, this poem is divided into 5 stanzas and each stanza consists of 4 lines. The structure of the poem is regular and the rhyme scheme follows the pattern of ABAB. This is the rhyme scheme throughout the poem. There is no exception. Okay, now let's see the literary devices. First, symbolism. The title itself symbolizes that mission also have secret. Okay, we human beings only have secret, but here it was a symbol that mission also have a secret. So the secret of missions, the topic itself is a symbolism. Then imagery, as I said, imagery, when you read that line you can imagine it, isn't it? Likewise here, see the lines, we can see and hear, count and read and write. So if, as I said in the class, if I say you can see, immediately what technological invention will come into your mind? A TV. Like here, okay, you can imagine a tap recorder. Likewise, count, a calculator, read, okay, a e-book, write, a typewriter. So when you read these words, you can imagine these things, is that? So this is an imagery. Personification. What is personification? A thing, an idea, or an animal is considered like a human being, and all the qualities of a human being will be given to that idea or an animal. That is called as personification. See, we can pull and haul, push and lift, plow, read, heat, jump, swim, fly. Likewise, it was given. But whether a machine can pull on its own, whether it can read on its own, no. Everything it needs the human help, isn't it? But here the point I said the machine can read, machine can pull. So here the machine is considered like a human being. So it is a personification. Next, hyperbole. Hyperbole is nothing but exaggerating. As I said, a small thing. In class itself I said the same example. Now you will have a very small wound, but what will you do? In order to escape from the teacher, you will put a very big bandage and come to school and say that I have a very big wound, isn't it? That is exaggeration. Keep it in mind, it will be easy for you to remember. Just for joking I said, none of you will do like that, but for just for joking and for easy remembrance. Okay, okay, see here the line, we will serve you 420, that is 420 hours a day, means 24 hours a day. The machine cannot serve us. Only if you switch on the machine, it will serve us. But the machine is saying that I will serve you 24 hours a day. So it is an exaggeration. Okay, so it is a hyperbole. The next one is assonance. Assonance is nothing but repetition of two or more vowel sounds. See, all we ask, sound is repeated, isn't it? That is assonance. And connotation is when the poet suggests beyond what it expresses. As I said, okay, he wants to say something, but he won't say it. It will be said in an indirect mode. That is called as connotation. Example, heaven. Here the heaven indicates not the heaven, the sky. Okay, alliteration, repetition of two or more consonant sounds. Okay, now are you thorough with this poem? Good children, now let's see the supplementary. What's the topic of the supplementary? A day in 2889 of an American journalist. This story speaks about the people of the 29th century on 2818. Now we are in 21st century. It was an imagination about future in 29th century, how the world will be. Okay, it was written by Jules Verne in 1889. and the writer describes the advancement of technologies. In 2889, the newspapers will not be printed but will be spoken. Now we are having printed form of newspapers, isn't it? But in 29th century, we will have only the spoken form. Nothing will be printed. If you just click on your mobile or in your system or Mac, anything, it will speak like how we are seeing the news reading. No, likewise, the newspaper will not be in a printed form. It will be in a spoken form. Then, no, when the story begins, Francis Bennett's wife, she had gone to France for 8 days ago, and because of that, he feel very bored, isn't it? And he talked with her through the phone or telephone. You know what is phone? Imagine like our smartphone, Android phone, isn't it? Video call we are making and calling, isn't it? Likewise, he's just talking to his wife. Next, now he wants to get ready, so he went into his mechanized dressing room and got ready. Imagine the movie Tamil movie Indran. In that, no, the robot will get ready the hero by just dressing him, isn't it? The same, okay. Likewise, the robot will just dress him. So now he got ready, and next, now he was actually a journalist, isn't it? So he went to the reporter's room and inquired about, okay, what is happening. And from one of the astronomers there, he came to know about a new planet, Gandhini. Then after that, okay, he just travels to his accumulator works at Niagara. There he to Niagara he travels by air. Okay, this will be our condition in future. Okay, suppose if you are getting shortage of petrol, diesel, and all, this aero car will be invented and traffic will be reduced on roads. Maybe in future we will have all these things. And he returns to Centropolis by 5 o'clock. Okay, actually, the distance between the time taken to travel from Niagara to Centropolis will take actually 6 hours. But no, this Francis Bernard, no, he just started to Niagara after having his lunch after 12 o'clock. He went to Niagara, he just finished his work there, and he returned to Centropolis at 5 o'clock. Maybe at least we can imagine that he started at 12:30. So how many hours is there? Okay. 132, 34, 5. Okay, 4.5 hours only is there. I said for one travel time itself, it is 6 hours. But he went to Niagara and again he returned to Centropolis. So totally normally now, if we want to go now, it will take 12 hours. But he went and came within 4.5 hours. So that is the speed of transportation in the 2889 in the year 2889. And now he again came to his reporter office, and there no just he was talking with two people and they gave some suggestions. Out of that one idea was very good. Okay, so he appointed that man in his office. Then no, now his wife was starting from Paris, and she says that she was coming through submarine tubes. You know what is submarine? No, submarine nowadays we use it to just do research or attack the enemies underwater. Okay, underwater. But in future, through that also, like how we are traveling in our metro train. Okay, likewise in future we will travel through that also. Actually it was the distance from Paris to America was really 6,000 kilometers, they are saying. But how much fast? Okay, it will take only 295 minutes. 295 minutes means nearly 1 hour is equal to 60 minutes, isn't it? So before 6 hours, he can come. Before between 5 to 6 hours he can reach, she can reach it. So the time is very 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 reduced. Okay, so like this, maybe if we are alive into 29th century, these are the advancement we can this everything, no, from the author wrote only in imagination. Okay, and after now the day is over. Now he was very tired, he wants to take bath. If you want to take bath, what will do, you will directly go to your bathroom and you will take bath, isn't it? But here nothing like this. He just sat and he just touched a button and one of the doors opened and the bath appeared. Okay, like how it was. Okay, like slidingly. Okay, you might have know the sliding door, isn't it? Likewise, no, the bathroom is coming near him and he's going to take a bath. So like with this the story ends. So the story is nothing but about the advancement of science and technology in the 29th century. Okay, go through the story in a textbook so that you can have the understand the full story. Okay, children, keep revising. You will be writing a test in this in the on coming Tuesday. Don't worry, keep on revising. Hard work plus dreams plus dedication is equal to success. Everybody will have dream. If you want to achieve a dream, you should do hard work and you should dedicate yourself. If you do this, surely you will achieve success. Thank you children. We'll meet you in the next video.